Am I?
Yes, Mr. Jake Paul in the building there this morning with an enormous number of security people.
Yes.
And why the?
Not for me. Opiate for the mindless masses. I'm well in favour of YouTube and the different content mechanisms that it can bring. I'm also well in favour of boxing. If this sort of stuff was PG rated, it would be PGF for fraud. I just think, I'm not interested in it. I think good luck to the lad. If he wants to go and maximise his opportunity, it reminds me of P.T. Barnum with the sort of tattooed man and a bearded woman, sort of circus of horrors that these sort of things bring along.
Sounds like a night out with Jim.
Does, doesn't it? Absolutely.
I noticed you didn't say that to his 6'10" bodyguard.
No, over the weekend I was asked by Talk, would you do a piece with Jake Paul before the show? I said, absolutely, but be careful what you wish for, because I will tell him precisely what I think of his particular...
He bottled it, Danny.
You know me better than that. Unfortunately for myself, I'm not a protector of my own well-being. There would be no filter between the mouth and the brain there. It would come straight out my disdain. But listen, there is a space for everything. I just don't like the idea that the beautiful game of boxing is being hijacked and sort of morphed into something ugly purely and simply for the financial returns of it.
I know, but
there has to be some
a commercial man, though, Sam. No, you recognise that the fella is followed by millions.
I love meritocracy and I love capitalism, and I absolutely appreciate that. But where we depart, with people like that, I think they're hucksters. I think they're snake oil salesmen. And I think that the fact that they're dragging in people like Floyd Mayweather and really big athletes because all they can see are dollar signs. Look, it's the real world. We all do things to make money. I just think there should be something about the content that we're watching for alternative means that actually has some substance behind it.
Yeah,
I'd love him to go in with a live one. Get in there then with a proper fighter. Go on then.
Yeah. I mean, that's your point. He says, yes, I'd love to be a world champion. I'm sure he would, but you've got to take care of some serious dudes to get there.
I'd like to be James Bond, but it's not going to happen.
I could see you as James Bond.
Yeah.
Danny Murphy and Moneypenny. Anyway, Danny, having said that, he's just through that corridor surrounded by about 50 people. Go and tell him to come back so Simon can tell what he really thinks.
I'm a bit nonplussed by it, to be honest. I enjoy boxing, not as much as you guys, but I do enjoy. But I wouldn't watch that, so I can't really comment. It's not
each to their own.
For me.
Each to their own. I just believe that when you start to make real money, you make it on a basis of excellence. You don't make it on the basis of people that don't really know what they're looking at, or they're sort of looking at it through a prism of accepting mediocrity.
It's like anything, isn't it? Supply and demand.
I guess it is, yeah.
Well, I mean, Mayweather came out of retirement. Is that not in the same bracket?
Choreographed nonsense. Go look at the statistics. Look at the mechanisms of that particular fight. It was laughable.
Yeah.
One guy weighs about 10 stone more than the other. One guy can actually fight, the other guy can't, and one guy's getting paid.
Was that his brother?
That was his brother, yeah. I mean, you look at it and say, look, fair play to the lads.
There's not a hint of jealousy here that this guy
not my nature.
has made
it's not my nature.
gazillions.
That's not my nature. It's
No,
not my nature
course.
to be envious of someone else.
And good looking.
and all of that, and fair play to the opportunities created for himself. But if you're talking from a boxing purist point of view, not for me.
No. So he says he's going to prove everybody wrong.
Well, I've got.
I couldn't get near him to ask him because it's about 78 heavies outside the studio. But where are you at?
Right,
with it?
so I'll tell you where I'm at with it. I think you three are a disgrace not thinking he's going to be a world champion. That's just a joke. Of course, he's not going to be a world champion. He's not like he's just that. You know what Jake Paul's like. He sells himself really well, marketable. He's done a job. But realistically, would he win a world title? Would he win a British title if he was eligible to box for a British title? Do you think he's at that sort of level? I'm not sure he is. Look, I'd done his first fight. I told you this tonight. So do you know this?
I didn't know you'd worked in his first. Sorry, say that again. You were his promoter.
KSI. When KSI boxed Logan Paul on the undercard, Jake Paul boxed KSI's brother Deji, and I promoted that show. So I'm effectively guilty for all this happening. I was the one that started YouTube
Simon,
boxing.
this is the guy. This is
I am
the one
that started YouTube boxing. But when we done
what
that,
were you thinking about?
I'll tell you what I was thinking. It was a
bank
packed
balance.
Yeah, it was a packed arena. It was good fun. The average age there was about 12 to 14. There was screaming kids everywhere. They took the roof off, and they had head guards on. They had 16-ounce gloves on, and it was all just a bit of fun. And what's happened is that KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, they've gone there and gone, I can be a boxer.
Sure.
So I'm guilty of that, and they've continued.
Who could he beat? Is there anybody out there that we would know of that he could beat? Well, maybe not.
I'm struggling.
Established
struggling.
fighter? No. So what was all that about then this morning? He
Was
was
the
serious
Fury
about it.
fight showing him up?
Fury would have done him, yeah, of course. Yeah, Tommy Fury is a professional boxer, and we're talking about levels. We're talking about levels here, and it's like like I said, Jake Paul's done a great job of selling himself, putting him against UFC fighters that are 50 odd plus that are well past their best, and that's where we're at with it, really.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.